Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. How are you? I hope you all are well. I am your English teacher. May Allah protect us in this pandemic. Students, as you know that our revision had started, we were on chapter number 2. We had read first page of chapter number 2, that is page number 8 in the class. Now we will continue this chapter. Before starting today's lecture, I'll give you short review of the chapter which we read in the class. Students, when David was going to his school, Salem House, Peggotty and Mr. Murdstone were not at home. His mother closed him and said goodbye to him. Miss Murdstone went with him to the carriage. David was crying. Suddenly, on half of the way, carriage was stopped. David was surprised when Peggotty climbed into the carriage. She hugged him and gave him cake and a small purse. After going her, David opened that purse. He found some coins in it, which were from the Peggotty. And he also found two more coins wrapped in a piece of paper. They are very special for him because they were from his mother. There was also a note on the paper for Davy with my love. Okay students, let's start the chapter. Open page number 9. The carriage stopped at Yarmouth. There, after a quick meal, I got into a larger carriage and began my journey to London. When I saw London in the distance, I was excited and curious. Gradually we came nearer to it and finally arrived at the little hotel where the carriage stopped. Curious means eager to know or learn something. This paragraph states that the carriage stopped at Yarmouth, where David had a meal and then he got into another carriage. It was larger than the previous one and set off for London. When he was about to reach, he was very excited, and finally he reached London and went at a small hotel. Let's move on. I felt very lonely as I got down from the carriage and went into the office. No one had come to meet me. No one seemed to know what to do with me. I sat down and began to think. Perhaps Mr. Murdstone had planned to lose me in London. What would happen if I tried to walk home? Would anyone there, besides Peggotty, welcome me? This paragraph states that when David reached at the hotel, he was feeling very lonely because no one is there to welcome him. First he went to the office. He sat down and thought that if he went back to home, only Peggotty will welcome me. And he also thought that Mr. Murdstone had planned to lose me in London. Let's move on. But then a tall, thin young man, dressed in a black suit, entered and whispered to the clerk. I noticed that his suit was rather short in the sleeves and legs. "Are you the new boy?" he said to me. I thought I must be, but didn't know. "I am one of the masters at Salem House School," he said. "My name is Mr. Mail." "Please, sir," I said, "is the school far from here?" "About 6 miles. We shall go by carriage." Whisper means speak very softly, using one's breath rather than one's throat, especially for the sake of secrecy. This paragraph states that while David was waiting in the office, a young man came who was very tall and thin, and he dressed up in black suit, which was rather short to him. That man asked to David, "Are you a new boy?" He further said, "I am one of the masters at Salem House School, and my name is Mr. Mail." Then David asked, "Is the school far from here?" He replied, "About 6 miles. We'll go by carriage. Let's move on. Salem House was a square brick building. It looked empty. It was so quiet that I thought the boys must have gone out. However, Mr. Mell told me that it was holiday time and all the boys were at home. He seemed surprised that I did not know. Mr. Creakle, the owner of the school, had gone to the seaside with his wife and daughter. I discovered that I had been sent there in holiday time as a punishment for my bad behavior. There would be no lessons and no other boys in the school for 4 weeks. Here David is describing his school, Salem House. It was a square bricked building. It looked empty because boys had gone for vacations. All the classrooms were empty. Mr. Mell was very surprised when he knew that David didn't know about the holidays. He further told that Mr. Creakle, who was the owner of the school, had gone to seaside with his wife and daughter. Now David realized that he had been sent there in holidays as a punishment, and he had to stay there without any friend or any lesson till 4 weeks. Let's move on. Mr. Mell took me to see a classroom and left me there by myself. I thought it was a sad and lonely place. I stared at the long rows of desks and the old writing books which were lying on the dirty floor. Walking quietly to the end of the long room, I suddenly saw a cardboard notice lying on a desk. It said, "Be careful, he bites." Here speaker is telling us that Mr. Mell took David to see a classroom and left him there. Desks were arranged in a long rows with old writing books on dirty floor. He also saw a cardboard notice at the end of the long room. It said, "Be careful, he bites." Let's move on. I thought there might be a large dog somewhere in the room. I was frightened and climbed on top of the desk. When Mr. Mell came back, he asked me why I was standing up there. "Excuse me, sir," I said. "I am looking for the dog." "Dog?" he said. "Which dog?" "The one that bites." "No, Copperfield," he said sadly. "That notice doesn't refer to a dog. It refers to a boy. I have to put this notice on your back, Copperfield. I'm sorry to do this, but I must." Here David is telling us that when he saw that notice, he thought there might be a large dog somewhere in this room. He was frightened and climbed up the desk. When Mr. Mell came back, he asked to David why he was standing up there. Then David replied, "I am looking for dog who bites." Then Mr. Mell replied sadly, "That notice doesn't refer to a dog, it refers to a boy." He more added, "Now I have to put this notice on your back." The notice. He lifted me off the desk and tied the notice on my shoulders. Everywhere I went, I had to wear it. No one knew how much I suffered, whether people could see me or not. I always imagined that somebody was reading that piece of cardboard. Soon there would be 45 boys in the school, and I imagined all of them crying out in their different voices, "Be careful, he bites." Imagine means something unreal or untrue, believed to exist or be so. Suffered is the past and past participle form of suffer. It means pained, grieved, tolerate, or experienced or be subjected to something bad or unpleasant. This paragraph states that Mr. Mell took David down from the desk and tied the notice on his shoulder. David had to wear that notice everywhere. David was very worried because of this notice. He always imagined that people was reading that notice. He also worried to imagine that 45 boys had come back to school and all of them crying out in their different voices, "Be careful, he bites." Let's move on. After about a month, Mr. Creakle returned. I was ordered to go to his room before I went to bed that evening. When I saw him, I was very frightened. Mr. Creakle was a fat gentleman with a bunch of keys and a watch on a chain. He was sitting in a large chair with a glass and a bottle beside him. He had a red face which made him look very angry, and small eyes deep in his head, a little nose and a large chin. He had some thin hair that looked wet, brushed over the sides of his head, but none on the top. However, there was one thing about Mr. Creakle that frightened me more than his appearance. He had no voice. He only spoke in a whisper. Here, David is telling us that after about 1 month, Mr. Creakle returned, and one day David received an order to meet him in his office. David was very frightened to see him. He was a fat man. He always had a bunch of keys and a watch on a chain. He had red, angry-looking face with small eyes, little nose and a large chin. He had thin hair that looked wet. He brushed only on sides of his head. The thing that most frightened David is that he had no voice. He only spoke in a whisper. Let's move on. Mr. Creakle wanted to tell me that he was a determined man, like my father, Mr. Murdstone, and that he would make me obey him. When I tell someone to do a thing, I make them do it, he whispered at me, pinching my ear fiercely. Fiercely means in a violent or aggressive manner or in a powerful and destructive manner. This paragraph states that Mr. Creakle wanted to show David that he was a determined person like his father Mr. Murdstone. He would make David to obey him. He pinched his ear fiercely and whispered that when he tells someone to do a thing, he makes them do it. Let's move on. I was very frightened, but I had something very important to ask him. "Please, sir," I said, my voice trembling, "please may I take this notice off my back before the boys come back? I am very sorry indeed, sir, that I behaved so badly." Mr. Creakle leaped up from his chair and I ran. I did not stop running until I reached my bedroom. I lay on my bed, trembling with fear, for about 2 hours. Leaped means jumped or moved quickly and suddenly. Trembling means shivering or shaking or quivering, typically as a result of anxiety or excitement. Here, here David is telling us that he was very frightened, but he wanted to ask him about take off the notice which was tied on his shoulder before coming back of the boys. His voice was trembling with fear. He was also sorry for his bad behavior. When Mr. Creakle heard it, he moved quickly from his chair. David was afraid and ran hurriedly to his room. He was trembling with fear for about 2 hours. Let's move on. Luckily for me, the first boy to return thought my notice was very funny. His name was Tommy Treadles. He introduced me to all the other boys, saying, "Look at this, here's a good game." Some boys pretended that I was a dog and stroked me and said, "Lie down, boy." At first I did not like this, but then I saw they were playing a game and being friendly. I decided that the notice was not as bad for me as I had expected. Pretended means not genuine or assumed. Stroked means touching gently, moving hand slowly and gently, or a hit. This paragraph states that David felt very lucky because the boy who came first thought that the notice was very funny. His name was Tommy Treadles. He also introduced David to the other boys. They considered his notice as a game. Some boys treated him like a dog. They stroked him and said, "Lie down, boy." At first, David didn't like this, but when David realized that they were playing game, he behaved normally and thought that the notice was not as bad as he expected. Let's move on. The oldest boy in the school was J. Steerforth. He was 6 years older than me. He was very kind to me. He helped me use my 7 shillings to buy fruit, wine, and cakes for the boys. We had a feast in our bedroom in the middle of the night. The boys were pleased with the food, and at the feast they told me many things about the school. Students, this paragraph states that the oldest boy of the school was James Steerforth. He was 6 years older than David. He also helped David to use his 7 shillings for the feast of the boys. They purchased fruit, wine, and cakes for the feast. They had feast in the middle of the night. All the boys were very happy, and they told many things to David about the school. Okay students, now I'll explain today's lesson in Urdu. डेविड की कैरेज यरमाउथ पर रुकी और वहां पर उसने खाना खाया. इसके बाद वो एक दूसरी बड़ी गाड़ी में सवार होकर लंदन के लिए रवाना हो गया. डेविड जब लंदन के करीब था तो वो बहुत एक्साइटेड था और आखिरकार जब वो एक होटल में पहुंचा तो वहां पर ऑफिस में गया और वेट करने लगा. इस दौरान उसे डिफरेंट थॉट्स आने लगे. इसी दौरान एक लंबा और पतला शख्स अंदर आया. उसने डेविड से पूछा, आर यू अ न्यू बॉय? उसने मजीद कहा कि मैं सेलिम हाउस के मास्टर्स में से एक हूं एंड माय नेम इज मिस्टर मेल. डेविड ने उससे स्कूल के बारे में पूछा कि कितनी दूर है. उस शख्स ने कहा, अबाउट 6 miles एंड वी विल गो बाय कैरेज. सेलिम हाउस एक स्क्वायर ब्रिक बिल्डिंग थी जो कि खाली थी. तमाम बॉयज गए हुए थे. मिस्टर मेल ने उसे बताया कि हॉलीडेज हैं और सब बॉयज गए हुए हैं और मिस्टर क्रीकल जो कि स्कूल के ओनर हैं वो भी अपनी वाइफ और डॉटर के साथ सी साइड गए हुए हैं. नाउ डेविड रियलाइज्ड दैट कि उसको पनिशमेंट के तौर पर छुट्टियों में भेजा गया है. वहां 4 हफ्तों तक ना तो पढ़ाई होगी और ना ही स्टूडेंट्स होंगे. मिस्टर मेल ने डेविड को क्लासेस दिखाई. एक क्लास में रॉ में कुछ डेस्क थे और ओल्ड राइटिंग बुक्स जो हैं वो फ्लोर पर पड़ी हुई थी जिनको डेविड ने बहुत गौर से देख रहा था. वो चलता हुआ रूम के एंड तक गया और अचानक उसे एक कार्डबोर्ड नोटिस नजर आया जिस पर लिखा था, बी केयरफुल ही बाइट्स. डेविड ने सोचा कि यकीनन कमरे में कोई डॉग है और वो डेस्क के ऊपर चढ़ गया. मिस्टर मेल आए और उन्होंने डेस्क पर चढ़ने की वजह पूछी तो डेविड ने कहा कि मैं डॉग को तलाश कर रहा हूँ. मिस्टर मेल को जब पूरी बात मालूम हुई तो उन्होंने कहा कि ये डॉग के लिए नहीं बल्कि बॉय के लिए है. अब मुझे ये नोटिस तुम्हारी बैग पर लगाना होगा. डेविड को उस नोटिस की वजह से बहुत सफ़र करना पड़ा. उसको ऐसा महसूस होता कि जैसे हर कोई उस नोटिस को देख रहा है. उसे ऐसा लग रहा था कि जैसे 45 बॉयज आ चुके हैं और वो सब मुख्तलिफ आवाज़ों में बोल रहे हैं, बी केयरफुल ही बाइट्स. तकरीबन आफ्टर 1 month मिस्टर क्रीकल वापस आ गए और एक दिन डेविड को उनसे मिलने का ऑर्डर मिला. डेविड उनकी अपीयरेंस से बहुत खौफजदा हुआ. वो भी मिस्टर मर्डस्टोन की तरह डेविड को बताना चाहते थे कि वो एक डिटरमिन्ड पर्सन है और डेविड को उन्हें ओबे करना होगा. उन्होंने बहुत बेरहमी से डेविड का कान पकड़ा. डेविड वॉज वेरी फ्राइटेंड बट इन ट्रेम्बलिंग वॉइस ही आस्क्ड टू मिस्टर क्रीकल, क्या मैं बॉयज के आने से पहले ये नोटिस उतार सकता हूँ? मिस्टर क्रीकल ये सुनते ही अपनी चेयर से उठ खड़े हुए. डेविड डर गया और फौरन वहां से भागकर अपने रूम में चला गया. लकीली जो लड़का सबसे पहले स्कूल में आया उसका नाम टॉमी ट्रेडल्स था और उसने डेविड को दूसरे बॉयज से इंट्रोड्यूस करवाया. उन्होंने उस नोटिस को एज अ गेम कंसिडर किया. वो डेविड को स्ट्रोक करते और कहते, लाई डाउन बॉय, फर्स्ट David didn't like it, but soon he realized that they were playing a game. तो वो भी इनके साथ फ्रेंडली हो गया. स्कूल का सबसे बड़ी उम्र का लड़का जेम्स स्टीव फोर्ड था, जो डेविड से 6 साल बड़ा था और वो डेविड के साथ बहुत अच्छी तरह पेश आता. उसने डेविड के पास जो 7 शिलिंग्स थे उनसे बॉयज की दावत के लिए केक, फ्रूट और वाइन का इंतजाम किया. बॉयज इस दावत से बहुत खुश हुए और उन्होंने ये दावत आधी रात को की और डेविड को इस फीस्ट में स्कूल के बारे में काफी मालूमात हासिल हुई. Students, we have done 2 question answers of this chapter in the class. Learn those question answers and also learn question number 3, which you can see on your screen, and write it in your English literature copy. Question number 3 is, why did the notice refer to what was written on it? Answer: be careful, he bites, was written on the notice and it referred to the boy, not the dog, and David had to wear this notice for a month as a punishment. Reference to context. Please, may I take this notice off my back before the boys come back? We read this line in today's session. Who spoke this line? Yes, David spoke this line. To whom? Mr. Creakle. Okay, students, first we'll write the reference, then we'll explain it. Reference. The above line is taken from the chapter Away from Home of the novel David Copperfield, written by Charles Dickens. This line is spoken by David to Mr. Creakle. Now we will explain it. David got this notice as a punishment. He requested to the principal. Who is the principal? Mr. Creakle. It's mean he requested to the Mr. Creakle to take off the notice because he felt embarrassed and thought that when boys will come back, they will make fun of him. Students, first, learn all question answers and reference to context of this chapter. Then do question number 3 and reference to context in your English literature copy. Inshallah, we will complete the revision of this chapter in the next session. Thank you. Till then, take care of yourself and your family. Allah Hafiz.